Do you hear it? Beautiful. Listen closely to the anthem of your demise.
Through the dark veil of space and time. This is Warp Chatter.
All right, welcome everybody to the Eye of Terror Studios, as we've so aptly named it. This is the Warp Chatter podcast. This is the podcast for the digital card game Horus Heresy Legions. I am your host, Scuff D. This is a podcast by players for players, and with me today, I've got a guest. I've got Axel Manning, who's the Crab co-host.
Be here until I'm not needed anymore, which is never, because chaos will prevail.
And joining us tonight is Kazrim.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey. Kazrim is a content creator. Are you still doing Heresy content, or did you give it up for good? I know you did a video.
Oh man, I've been asked this so much, and no, I really have.
You really have given it up.
Yeah, I got doxxed too many times. I was like, I need to run.
You had Dole sending you PMs of pictures of your house.
No, it wasn't Dole's. But somebody.
Dole's is innocent for now.
Dole's did accidentally get my name though, because I was doing a stream and my phone went off, and it was like my utility company, and they just started blurring out my name, and then I had to like turn it off before they started saying my address and credit card number. I was like, yeah, everybody can't have that.
Oh, you don't say.
That's not good. What date was that stream on? Is that still up for people to watch?
No.
Purge from the world.
Oh, jeez. Well, Kazrim is joining us today, and we are going to be talking about, Heresy Legions, and obviously some stuff that's been going on, some updates. But the topic of the hour tonight that we're going to get to is a topic we touched on, I think, a couple episodes back. We were talking about the Timmy Johnny Spike test. It's a theory, a psychological profile of player types that exist in card games. Kind of go into that a little bit more. It originated, it's been around for, I want to say, over a decade at this point. But it's really interesting to kind of gauge yourself, see where that's at, because there's player types of all different sorts out there. But before we get into that, Kazrim, let's do some player introduction. Why don't you tell us about yourself?
Okay. Yeah. So I've been playing Legion since beta. Like, I remember when Angron just naturally had 3 attack, and there wasn't really much you could do about that. That was something.
Yeah.
Bring back those days.
Let's see. Let's not bring back those days. I've also been begging for Akshub to come into the game for a couple of years now. I think I'm actually famous for that at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If someone mentions Akshub, your name will usually be brought up quickly after. Why do you want that warlord so bad? Explain.
Because I just thought, like, on a mechanical level, that she was like really cool, and even if she wasn't strong at the time, because everybody really wanted Caleb Decima, and everybody kind of beamed in on unlocking Caleb Decima, just because it's like, this will give us a way to deal with Angron, and then it ended up really not. But I just saw Akshub as like this warlord that would really just kind of get better the larger the card pool gets, because there's going to be more and more and more options of stuff for her to steal with her hero power when she kills it. So I just figured, like, the neutral card set can't be hot garbage forever. So it really can't. But I just thought it was really cool and unique how she functioned, and we haven't really seen anything to kind of fill that gap. Like, if it worked fundamentally the same way and just wasn't Akshub, I'd still probably be okay with it. Although we already have the voice acting for Akshub, so just give me the Akshub already.
Is anything about the character, or just the mechanics?
It's honestly just the mechanics for me. She seems like bog standard cookie cutter, cultist something.
Pretty much, yeah. She's just your typical Davenite cultist.
Does chaos shit.
Yeah, it does chaos shit. There's nothing special about her. I think, and this kind of ties in a little bit. This last 2 weeks, I have been testing a couple decks. I've been testing decks for World Cup, but on the off, I'm trying to get to player request topics and videos, and I've been trying to work on Samus. And Samus has got that one card that steals a troop if it's got 2 health, but it's a one-time use, and it's very limited. Whereas Akshub, she could be like, "Nah, I just get the troop like full up." Like she wasn't just going to. That was on demand. That was an ability that was like always a threat every turn. So there's a big difference there, and then obviously she would have access to the whole card pool, whereas the Ruinstorm just has the chaos stuff. But I mean, if any warlord was going to have it, Samus could get it. He could lose his purple card. I'd be okay with that, like as a mechanic in that regard. And Samus is way cooler than Akshub. So
Samus needs something over his current ability. I thought it was 3 damage, like on a cycle. 2? No, 2 is useless.
2's useless. Yeah.
I just don't know how I feel about siege abilities to begin with. I think they're kind of bad.
His
ability needs a rework.
His ability is a problem. There's a lot of problems with Samus. His ability, when they changed it, first off, at the beginning, it was not fantastic. Just can't attack, no damage. So it's already worse than Modrum, right?
Yeah.
And Modrum has at least access to the full neutral card pool, as well as some decent Night Lord cards. Now, granted, Night Lords are not in a great place, and they're very, very legendary heavy.
But they're solid okay.
They're solid okay, and if he gets Mercy and Forgiveness, he's brutal.
Locks your board.
Whereas, that just giving can't attack isn't going to do you anything.
Plus, Modron's got that passive, which annoys me.
Yes, the passive is huge for him.
Modron, ooh.
Yeah, that passive is huge. So Samus has got that. He lost just the one, and then it became a siege ability, which means it's not consistent. You have to time how you play it. And then on top of that, the best plays I've come up with Samus are basically, they're plays that could be done better if they were done with Kyrus, if you went one way, or they could be done better if they were done by Korbacks, if you went another way, or they are just done better because Kabanda can do it faster and be more aggressive, even though he's limited too. So all 3 of the other Ruinstorm Warlords can do the exact deck and style that he can do better than he can. The only mishmash is like clutch, can't attack on an opponent to keep a troop alive. That's it. It's a terrible setup. He's not in a great place at all.
The only good thing he's got going for him. Oh, sorry, here, Kaz. I'm just going to say this quick.
Yeah,
is steal and drop pod troops.
I did that today. It was great. They dropped a Elijah Janus, the Blood Angels, and I'm like, with like a 3 health drop pod. I'm like, yoink.
Oh no!
And then they resigned. They resigned the turn after. That was good. I was like, that was. You walked into my trap.
Yeah, I mean, like Perturabo at least has something to support his playstyle. So like, even though
faction supports him.
Yeah, exactly. The faction supports him. There's more than enough burn naturally in Iron Warriors so that he can just sit there. Also, he's pummeling you for 6. Like it's not like he's just like, I'm gonna deal 2 damage.
Right.
And even that neutral neutral mech guy we got, he's hitting for 3 and it's only costing him 1, and he gets mana back when he kills things. Like he's
hitting for 4. Yeah.
Oh, he's hitting for 4.
He's even better than Stan.
Yeah,
1 energy for 4 damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, he might even be better than Perturabo, because I don't think he's he's not low initiative, is he?
No.
He's like what, medium?
Medium.
Yeah, no, so he might be better.
He's got fun potential.
Fun potential? I don't know.
Oh yeah. Well, he can pick off a troop and then it costs for nothing that turn. Like Destructor's got a lot going for him.
Yeah, no, he's really cool. But yeah, Samus, he doesn't do anything.
He exists.
What is he supposed to do? He's just so terrible.
He's a Lord of Murder, which obviously means his ability is useless, and his card doesn't play to that at all.
Yeah, it's like they came up, like his card used to cost 2, and his ability used to be different. The faction itself was stronger, but the key cards that were good for everybody were still good for him, but he was already still not in a great spot. It was just like he worked really well in the events, because events are a set thing, and it was like, oh, that's a decent ability to pitch out. But in open play, it's not great. And the way he's set up now, like, yeah, he needs a rework. He does. Because, like, after 2 weeks of testing it, like, yeah, I've got wins and I had to rebuild the deck. But when I look at the deck, I really look at it, I'm like, I could put any of the other 3 warlords in here and it would be a better deck just by changing the warlord.
Now, bear with me. What if we just got rid of him and gave the Red Angel a chance? God, I wanted to play him as a normal
yeah. Anyways, so sorry for the sidetrack. But you just were talking about Akshub and stealing troops, and that was just sparked my mind. I'm like, yeah,
progression.
Yes, yeah. If Samus had her ability on demand, I think he would be
a good day.
That'd be a good enough fix.
Yeah, I'd play nothing but Samus then.
Like, what can I take today? Oh, desperate defense. Let me find a way to make that 1 health and steal it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Stealing a defense force? Oh, that'd be fun.
Oh, yeah. It's so easy to do with 6 health.
Nice troop you got there. It's mine permanently, buddy boy.
That's rough.
Yeah.
I mean, like, yeah, that would be brutal, but I'm okay being stuck in Falktown. That's okay.
But that was the primary, that was the big Falkening deck.
Yeah, it still works.
It still works. It still does.
Yeah.
It's tried and true. It works like clockwork. Well, I mean, it has its weaknesses, but when you find a deck that works and it works well, there's nothing wrong with that. That's the idea.
Find your groove. Keep going.
Yeah, exactly. I still run it in my spare time every now and again. I don't always get combo off. So sometimes I'll just win with burn, like especially if it's against like a Vulcan.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I hate Vulcan so much.
Hey, it's me. I play Vulcan.
Oh, okay. Well, then I don't like you. You ruined my Christmas.
It's what I'm proud to do. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
With what other games have you played? Like as far as like card games, anything else, or has it just been digital stuff?
As far as like card games go, I haven't really played any other card games lately. In my spare times occasionally I'll play some Legions. I've got a little bit of Magic the Gathering cards, mostly just Eldrazi because I think they're just super really cool. It's like that sort of like interdimensional Eldritch horror sort of devourer thing. I just thought they were super cool, so I just have a lot of Eldrazi, but apparently that makes me a bad person.
I didn't know. I didn't know that was a telltale sign of a bad person. I thought it was, like trying to think Magic.
The other things you did, Kaz.
Yeah, like I don't know. Like me, I get into Magic now and then. Like if I just have got, like the urge to crack packs and like I need to open up something random. I don't care if because every time I do it and then I get the Magic cards in my hand and I'm like, oh yeah, it's Magic. Like Magic is.
I thought you were gonna say urge to do crack for a minute.
No, crack like cardboard crack maybe. No, but
plastic crack.
Magic is by far the number 1 most successful game and it's lived a very long life. But for me, there are certain elements to it that I don't find appealing, and I found I enjoy other games better because they don't have those specific elements to it. So like like the mana hose, drawing no mana in your opening hand, that's it.
Yeah.
That's the number 1 feature, and there are games I play where you have rotating hands every turn, or every turn you just have a set, like Legions has that set energy counter. You don't have to worry about your mana source. Every turn your mana is going to go up unless your opponent's playing Desolated Ground or whatever. So that eliminates that whole need to include dead cards or bank on drawing or not drawing those to cast things. And then I've had other games where face cards is what I want to call them, where like your deck is basically you're built the deck and your deck is either your life total or your arsenal essentially, but really you're playing a character card, whether it's Dragon Ball Z, WWE Raw Deal. I think Gundam has had a couple where like that card is actually what gives you, in the same way that Legions has the Warlord, that gives you a constant ability and you have everything else to support it. I find that much more enjoyable than like, well, I didn't draw any creatures and so I couldn't, so the only thing I got out was this 1/1 and like you're this abstract planeswalker or whatever it is. Like the game has evolved and I like elements of it. But every time I pick up stuff of it, I'm always reminded of the elements that I don't like more.
No, I understand that. That's a totally fair assessment. Like, look, not every game is going to be everyone's forte. Like, just because Magic is like this, old tried and true game doesn't mean it's inherently for you. It doesn't mean like, no, you have to play Magic or your man card is gone. Like,
Exactly.
dude, what?
Your man card.
Some people go, and you talk about it.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't like Magic at first, to be completely honest, especially growing up. Like it was just kind of like a thing for me. And I didn't really think much of it. I was just like, oh, this is kind of boring, a little dumb. But it just kind of grew on me when I took the time to learn how to play it, kind of. And even then, I should probably use that loosely, especially when I say kind of. And mostly just because, like, I tried playing it in like high school and I really just couldn't get down with it. And then, years later, I'm in my early 20s, and I'm like, hey, this is pretty good. Wonder why I didn't play this. So it's always kind of be a little bit of that, but it doesn't mean you have to play it. Doesn't mean it's for everybody. It's just kind of just something to keep myself occupied, I guess.
Right. Yeah, that's exactly it. And I've got a stack of games. I know we've talked about some on here now and then, Axel, but I've got a stack of games that I play just to keep myself occupied. Then there are those games that I adamantly, truly enjoy and could talk days on. I mean, whether they're good or not. Legions is one of those games. Like, if Legions was a paper game, if it was a physical card game, whether it was LCG or CCG or whatever, I definitely play it and pick it up and have binders of it and have, a row. Whether there would be anyone here to play with or not, it wouldn't matter. I'd make decks and play myself if necessary. That's for me. I enjoy the way the game works. I love the lore. I love the factions. I love the, it's Horus Heresy. So for me, it just strikes a lot of chords. Is there stuff problematic about it? Just like with any game, every game is not going to do everything perfectly. If there was, we would have seen it by now. I mean, geez. Card games have been around for going on 40 years.
Maybe even longer.
Yeah, if you really think about it, yeah. I mean, there's probably been some early versions of Magic or other card games, if we're not counting poker or Uno or anything like that.
I was going to say, when we mean card games, we obviously mean...
Yeah, we're talking collectible card games.
Yeah, because if we go, how long have card games been around? Oh, we're going far back, gentlemen.
We're going to BC times.
Cavemen playing Magic the Gathering on their just written on cave walls.
Yeah,
that happened. Didn't you know?
They did. They did.
Don't fact check this podcast. It's for the best.
Accurate information is provided here 100% of the time.
That's the reason why we're technically in the Eye of Terror.
That's right. We exist in all times, in all continuities.
Oh, I missed the memo on that one.
Yes, the Eye of Terror Studios exists outside of time and space. So we are
also
actually
inside time and space. It's kind of a paradox.
That's a wonderful paradox. It's the beauty of chaos. So when you're done here, Kaz, you will emerge. You might not return.
New man.
You might not return to your home the same or the same home.
That sounds
or at all
ominous.
That's a threat, not a promise.
Threat. Okay. Well, sometimes it do be like that.
That's what it is. It's 40K. It's chaos, baby. So so beyond card games, have you played the 40K tabletop at all? Yeah, well, you have, because we were just talking about the codexes you've got.
Yeah, I actually play Chaos Demons.
Of course.
Yeah, just like I actually play. Let's see, just solo Corn. So I'm definitely not Mr. Meta on this one, because they're pretty down there on the totem pole of what's strong right now. But Mono Slanesh is really powerful, which is muy caliente, as the kids say.
I have not played the new edition. I have the rule book for it. I picked up the Indominus box, and there are models I'm going to pick up for Sisters of Battle, like when that Piety and Pain battle box comes out. I want that so bad, because I like both of those units, those armies, and the models just look sweet.
Yeah, I looked at the Piety and Pain set, and that's such a horrible deal.
It's not a great deal.
No, it's terrible. Like,
Yeah.
I looked at the amount of sisters you get. I'm like counting it. It's like, what is this?
You're really getting the tank, I think, is where the majority of the sisters' points are at. Yeah.
Okay.
Compared to the
Dark
Eldar. Yeah.
Dark Eldar Scourges have Dark Lances.
I'm not too thrilled with I think a lot of people aren't. I didn't even know that it was going to be an online pre-order or whatever it was. I guess, it's the same debacle that they had with Indominus. It sold out in like 15 minutes. The only thing is Indominus, they were like, hey, we're going to reprint that because this is the big launch box.
Yeah, that is the box. But like, allegedly for Indominus, for having sold out so quickly and everything, like every single hobby store, even like I don't know if you're Hobby Town USA or whatever, they've got like every single type of the Indominus, from the tiniest ones all the way to the big one that was like gone. And like, I could probably just in the main store I go to, I think they've got like 3 still, and they're like, do you want Indominus box? I was like, nah fam, I just play demons.
Can I paint the ultramarine red and have demon?
Yeah, for what it is, it's a solid box. I have no complaints, although putting together the Necrons hurt my fingers. But ultimately I enjoyed it. It was a good buy. It hooked me back in, because I have not bought, the last time I bought 40k models was I want to say 6th edition, and that may be stretching. It might actually have been the end of 5th, and I just played with what I had. But I can't help it. I was always kind of on the edge with Necrons, and the whole box looked good. I don't mind the Primaris spikes. I'm alright with it, and the character models were just awesome. So.
Oh yeah, that Crusader look.
Yeah,
really for the Dominus Marines. It's like, look, they're beautiful sculpts.
Yeah,
and people shit on Primaris like no tomorrow. They're good looking models.
They are.
Their armor doesn't look as bad as people say it does.
No, I have no complaints about the armor. I think the heat that they take is really just because people are ticked because they're literally not classic Space Marines. They're a new breed, and they're slightly bigger, and it definitely makes all of their older models outdated. But the game has always had that, because I remember I've gone to some games day tournaments, and I remember there's been some tables I've been at where people had like the Rogue Trader, Imperial Walkers, and Dreadnoughts.
Oh god!
And I look at it, I'm like, I'm impressed that you want to play with that and show that off, because by comparison, even stuff from like their late 90s is like way better than Rogue Trader stuff by just aesthetically, just the way it looks. But that's the way it goes. Like it was a different model time. Things progress. Like the technology that they use to make these sculpts is better than it ever was. Like they don't actually have to hand sculpt them anymore. They can do it in a computer and take those pieces and literally move those things around, and then figure out how to print them on a sprue later, as opposed to reverse engineer. It's a totally different game.
Oh yeah.
Remind me, when are we going to get our Thunder Warrior army?
Never.
No.
Actually, there actually is like still like a couple Thunder Warriors alive in the 40k lore.
In 40k?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like 1 or 2 still left in 40k, but if we go back in 30k, you can find a handful.
Oh yeah, well there's I haven't gotten past, where am I reading? I'm reading Burden of Loyalty right now. I'm in the Cybernetica novella. So I know at some point in the siege there's a sizable force, or the last stand of a bunch of Thunder Warriors are involved in the Siege of Terra. So I'm curious to get to that point. Yeah.
Yeah, but so there absolutely were a couple I think it might just be 1 Thunder Warrior left.
Probably like mostly robotic at this point.
Are you no, you're not.
He figured out how to make a gene seed.
Ooh.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, now I know what you're talking about.
Now, really quick, because that sparks to my mind. So you got Trasdin, right, from the Necrons, the collector dude.
Oh yeah, the guy whenever the trifecta of Mr. Steal Yo shit.
He's gonna steal your stuff. Him and the Blood Ravens. in the lore, when they redid the Necrons to actually have personalities, and I think that was
One of the best things they did.
Yeah, it was great. Was it sixth or seventh edition?
I think it was 6.
I think it was sixth, or I think it was seventh. Yeah, but they had in his lore that fluff or his collection, and they mentioned that he's even got an ancient warrior, large warrior in Baroque armor, like frozen in rage or something like that. And I've always wondered, because that could be several different things in my mind, and I've always thought it's a Primarch. I figure like he's got a Primarch in stasis. I don't know if that's true. It could be a Thunder Warrior. It could be a Custodes. It could be Vulcan or Dorn. That's just my speculation. But I'm always curious to hear more about that. So, I mean, maybe there was another Thunder Warrior, but because he travels through time to like sometimes steal shit too. So that's possible. But I'd rather it be a Primarch. I mean, if I was honest.
I'm trying to think if I remember what the like old art for the Thunderers looked like. I think they kind of looked like almost like Roman, Roman like Praetorians or something.
They look like Roman Praetorians, but like fatter.
Yeah, kind of like dwarves almost.
Yeah,
Ultramarine took a lot of their Roman aesthetic, and now Thunder Warriors just like knockoff football players.
Yeah, custom-made dwarves. I mean, because I don't recall them just like straight up Mad Max in it, but
oh yeah, they do look like nowadays. They just look like Mad Max villains. More humongous.
Or like you like they would fit in Necromunda just fine, like as like hired hands or something like that.
Just a gang in Necromunda.
And they could. I mean, a Thunder Warrior could fucking dominate Necromunda, but I mean, in terms of the game and how that visually looks.
Yeah, I know what you meant.
Yeah.
There's a Necromunda video game coming out. Another one soon. That looks nice.
The shoot 'em up, the first person.
Yeah. Hired gun.
Well, moving away from the video games and the tabletop, I guess we should talk about Legions a little bit more before we get into the topic of the hour. So there's a couple things that we've had. As of this recording, the World Cup qualifiers have not yet started. But by the time you hear this, they probably are underway, and they've had all the teams have registered. There are several. I think there's about 8 or 9 qualifiers that have to take place. The rest of the teams have already been formed. There's a lot of teams that just had 3 players, or that were 3 players lumped together because they were single individuals from countries. So as we get more information, as we get more information on the qualifiers and how the teams are formed up, who's making the teams, I'll probably be reporting on that. I don't know if that'll be next week or the following week, but that is taking place. The World Cup is moving forward, so if you missed your chance to sign up for that, you can still root your country on, or just kind of pay attention. Just check into the tournament channel on the Discord. Also, to go with that, we are into April, so the March decklist contest that I run on my channel has ended, and the April contest theme I have not yet recorded. As of this recording, I have not yet done the video to announce the theme, but I'm going to do that right now, because by the time this airs, I should have the video out, and then I'll cover 2 birds with 1 stone. But the April theme is going to be Fortified. That's right, Fortified. I picked that when I picked the theme. I was anticipating that April would be the month of the fists. We're not there yet. We're just at the start of April, so I'm hoping the Imperial Fist will be here by the end of the month when this contest concludes. It's possible, dude. I just got an email from EG this morning, and there's hope, but there's nothing confirmed. So the April theme is Fortified. First place wins 1,000 gold. Second place 500 gold. Third place 300 gold. Again, deck list. You just have to match that theme. Give your deck list a name, and send a screenshot of that to me, either on Discord or on Reddit, or however else you can get in touch with me. I think those are the 2 main ways, but I think I'm on Facebook too, so if the players group wants to send that via PM too, that's fine. But easy way to get gold, and especially if we've got that expansion coming at the end of this month, you're going to want that gold. And then we've got April Fools. You want to talk about April Fools, Axel?
Yeah, I mean, there wasn't much this time around. They gave us 21 of the cards in the card list randomly gain voice lines when played. Now, that's neat. But what's the biggest part about this is they left behind in the code the necessary things. At any moment, they could give a card a voice line when it attacks, I believe, when it's put into play, and when it dies. So for future reference, they can do this.
Oh, you're actually going to be disappointed because I just checked the announcements and just like...
they removed it from the game.
Yeah, they already removed it. Sorry.
But the code is still there. The code is still there, which means at any point they could bring this back, is what I'm saying. Which, if so, I would love for it. Even if it's just legendaries, I'd be completely fine with that.
I don't even see the point of putting in that patch to remove it. Like, why would you get rid of the voice lines? Like,
also, they got it wrong, apparently. There wasn't 21, and we found all 17.
Oh.
But they announced it themselves.
Was there a prize for finding them? Or was it just like just to say like, hey, I found one that nobody else has heard yet?
Yeah, I think it was just, hey, we found them, guys.
Okay. See, here's the thing. I play with the game muted, so I don't hear anything anyway. So if I came across them, I would have no idea. One thing that I thought was cool, and some people came across it, was they had some mini Crucible bosses were getting played out there in practice for a few. Corrupted Grolger. I think Iron Duke did a video showcasing one of those games. So that was pretty fun, but that was just in practice. I still, people may rant and throw something, but I thought it would have been much funnier for an April Fool's if they put those in ladder as well, like at all levels. Even better than Golger. They should have just said all Crucible bosses are allowed in ladder.
Oh no, the Abaddon.
It just would have been bad for like one day. And then, like, people... It was just the start of the season, so it's not even, like, the end of the season when, like, it would matter. But, like, literally the first day of season, but enough to throw people off and you know, have them just have fun. You know, it's goofy, but have fun with it. But anyways, that was one other thing. I did not face Grolger, though. I didn't come across him at all. Did you? I
haven't either, but I've been told of his exploits. You know what he does, right?
No, I have no idea.
He has a 1E ability. He's a 230. His 1E's ability is he turns any troop on the board, yours or your opponent, into a Nurgle demon.
Ooh.
Just straight up.
Wait. It's like Father Decay or Nurgling?
Just a Nurgle demon, but not Nurglings or Father Decay, but every other one of them.
Oh,
so,
okay.
For example, Creed, he's basically the head mod on the Discord. Mm-hmm. Everyone knows him, and he's the maniac who makes most of the Crucibles. He turned a man who dropped the... we just covered EC, and I can't remember their troop name. The Dreadnought that has Perfection gain 2.
Rylanor?
Oh, Rylanor?
No, Rylanor is a 4/7. The one that gains a 2/2.
Oh, the Dorian, yeah.
Yes, the Dorian was dropped on 3 energy against Creed. The next turn, Creed turned it into a Plague Toad. That Saul was not happy.
That is so soul crushing.
Does it stay on their side, or does he gain control of it?
It stays on their side, but it was a Plague.
Yeah, you go from your because that's invested like 3 cards to get a 10/10 or an 8/8 or whatever, and he's like, no, it's just a 1/3. That's funny.
Yeah, it's a Toad now.
That's funny. Wait, so thematically, is Grolger a Nurgle guy? Like, did he like just?
Oh yeah.
Is he?
He's a Death Guard. Yeah, he's a Death Guard.
Grolger. Oh shit! I'm thinking Groger from Iron Warriors.
Yeah, no, yeah, Grolger.
Oh, okay.
Is he not the card that puts in play a place?
Yes, that is him.
Mm-hmm.
That is correct.
Yeah, he's a legendary that puts up that little front line for a bit. So he's basically 3 cards for the cost of 1, which makes him unique.
Okay.
And that's a warlord.
Yeah, lore-wise, Grolger was the one who was trying to stop Garrow from fleeing, and then he got
the first Plague Marine. I believe.
Yeah, he got Death Virus. He got the virus, and then somehow didn't die, and then Mortarion like kept him in a cell, you know, trying to he couldn't cure him, couldn't figure out. This is before Mortarion really accepted the fact that there were Chaos Gods.
Did he tell him to put the lotion on its skin?
At one point he was just fine, go do
what you must do. Put him in the Las Vegas basement.
He dropped him on that planet that when Horus, it's in Vengeful Spirit, but when Horus ascends and fights the Night Houses and finds this doorway to go into to the warp and gain the power of the Chaos Gods, which the Emperor that's where he got like a power bump, his time portal train or whatever in the warp. But part of that battle was Horus and Mortarion, and Mortarion, like on one side of the planet, literally just dropped Grolger by himself and the plague and the Death Eater virus, and he just like walked. And the Death Eater virus like wiped out all the jungles and wildlife and shit, and it was just this one death moraine.
Guy went, and I quote Kazrim, hard in the paint.
Oh, come on.
He hates it when I say that. All right.
So
yeah, Grolger's a cool character.
Yeah, I didn't play him. I was for a moment there. I was thinking, the guy from the Iron Warriors, but that would be different. That would be a different thing.
It would be neat. Which, because he was in the shop, we also got a voice line, or not a voice line, but rather like a little quip profile that was from a Loyalist Death Guard.
Yeah, Krytos Murtaugh. It was just a 20 gem purchase, but it was like a 1-day thing. I scooped that up.
Yeah, he's a cool character.
He was. I'm glad he was not in the Orphans of War because he just wouldn't fit with the faction. But he's a cool character, and I'd like to see him pop up somewhere down the road.
Which is funny that he's in this game and his rally is gain a mark of chaos. Which
wait, what?
Mortog, like the art they use for him, Mortorg Squad, is him.
Yeah.
So it's just, you're looking at that and you're like, oh, one of the very loyal men, his ability, gain a mark of chaos.
Well, because he was a librarian, so maybe that's like their best way they can come up with it. Yeah.
Yeah. He was a cool character.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there's not much mention to him, minus like the Horus Heresy like Red Books and a couple other things.
Yeah. Yep.
Honestly, at the end of the day, you can always blame bad things on librarians.
Yeah. When in doubt, it's always the librarian's fault.
I never really read anything where the librarian saves the day. I keep waiting.
No, it's almost always their fault.
Yeah.
Usually the apothecary that saves.
They've got a dark secret that they unlock, or they didn't fill everybody in. Like, oh, hey, by the way, this could happen. There's never anything like, oh, at the end of the day, aren't we glad that the librarian showed up? It was like, God damn it, you and your warp sorcery.
At the end of the day, you summoned a greater demon.
I think the best positive spin I've ever seen, and there's a lot of librarians that are like, named like Mephiston is like one of the top-notch librarians, but like, I've never read a story. I'm sure there are, but I've never read a story where he's like, oh shit, Mephiston just like owns everybody. Like the closest positive story I've seen or read was in Betrayer, when the last World Eater librarians were trying to save Angron from becoming a demon prince. They're like, we're trying to save you, and then he got pissed and he killed them all.
Yeah, the World Eater librarians who just hurt him more, so he executed them all.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that was bound to happen.
It was fated. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the type of thing where you tell the backstory of something that already happens, like the prequels for Star Wars.
Right.
You know he's going to end up bad at the end of the day.
Don't get me started
just
on prequels. Don't get me started on prequels.
Did I just set something off, Scuff?
That's there's potential there. There's potential for triggered scuff in the prequels. Like, there's good stuff and there's a lot of bad stuff. Like, okay, all right. There's just one thing.
Burn it all.
There's just one thing that I'm going to say, because there's a lot to say about the prequels. But in episode 2, which is Attack of the Clones.
Oh no!
I find it so interesting. Like, so for like years, right? Like all the Star Wars movies, all the Star Wars books. Like, what do Jedis do when they have blasters shot at them? Like, what do they do with their lightsaber?
They just
deflect.
They just deflect it. But when the Jedi show up on Geonosis, and like this one Jedi lands next to Count Dooku, and Jango Fett just starts blasting, that Jedi just gets shot the fuck up. Like, he doesn't even like try to block. Like, did he skip blaster deflection class? Like,
probably.
Like, I watched that and like in the theater, and I was like, what? Like,
wait, that okay? Hold up. That was your only complaint?
No, that wasn't my only complaint.
Jar Jar Binks?
Oh no, we're not talking about episode 1.
That's a straw that began the descent.
We don't want to go down this road. No, that was just in episode 2, and there's a lot of stuff that was prior to that.
It's scuff.
No, we're not even going to talk about the supposed romance story on Naboo. Let's not go down that road.
Wait, how old was Padme?
No, she's older than Anakin. She's older than Anakin.
I know that. Wasn't she like already an adult?
I think she was. Yeah, I think she was 19 and he was like 8.
Huh.
Let's see, let me do some math here.
That's 11 years.
That's 11. Well, you shouldn't have to do math. He's 8.
Well, no. I mean, like as an adult, like he had to meet her again when he was like. When?
Is that legal on Naboo? You gotta ask yourself that question.
No, it's not. Abort mission.
Don't
No.
have to ask that question. It's not.
No. Wasn't he like in his 20s when they got married or whatever?
I don't know how long it. Like you'd have to watch. I think the start of the second one tells how long it's been since he saw her.
I'd rather like go lay down in traffic.
We're just gonna skip over that. We're not even gonna go. Let's just leave Star Wars where it has to be tonight, and we can.
In the dumpster on fire.
So
Has
bad.
she even been able to have kids, let alone twins?
Well, she did. I mean,
Not successfully, but
it happened.
No.
Well, so the April Fool's
opened up a
part,
can of worms.
trying to get back to Legion. So April Fool's has concluded. It is April 2nd. But there really hasn't been a whole lot of new developments, no updates, nothing major to talk about in the game or the community. There has not yet been a Q&A announced, so I'm still got my fingers crossed for the next expansion to be in the end of this month. Time will tell. So, but
we've had reinforcements.
I'm pretty sure. No, I'm pretty sure. Because we just had the raid event not too terribly long ago.
We should. Well, technically, we should be on track for after this event, but we've got. Normally, they announce Q&As like a week or two before they're set to go.
I think what's probably going to happen is they're going to announce a Q&A, and then the event after this one will have an expansion to follow it. So it's probably going to be May. Like it's going to be May when we get the expansion, I think.
Are you quoting NSYNC to me?
It's gonna be May.
No, but apparently you're quoting it to me. In which
Just
case
did.
I have to say it's there. I feel attacked. Please stop.
Now I hope you hear it in your head now, and you can just visualize the dance number taking place right now.
I don't want to, but I can.
Tell me why.
Stop.
Won't they give us Imperial Fist? Tell me why.
Why did
Did you hear the recent rumblings about College Titanica being added with that expansion?
That is
because
correct.
For some reason, they added a tag on their website for College Titanica.
No, it's there's been some data mining that's taken place.
I've heard there's been some data mining, but from some of the data miners, they told me they haven't found it yet. Just EG has been tagging things with College Titanica, and people are going, "Oh no, why is there a tag like this? Why are you doing this?"
Yeah, soft
we're
confirm.
Still trying to recover from Knights. We don't need Titanica. Like, stop, dude.
Oh, you thought Knights were bad, but we gave them an extra 2 arms.
Yeah. Well, I think if we got Collegia Titanica, and this is a lot of speculation, but if we got it, they could do a few things with it, and I think we should get Reaper Titans over any other Titans. Like, have the Legendary be another Canis without the Psyker.
Oh yeah, just put Sinister in.
Yeah.
Give him
Crucible.
Yeah, and then give us some Reaper Titans, and then maybe one Warhound Titan, which we've already seen in events. So there's nothing new, but if they want to shake it up and make it a little new, give us Plasma for those Titans, and then watch the game implode.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know what they should do for those? People have been suggesting this for Knights when they first came out, but you like preset your weapons before the match begins, and that's what they are.
Mhm.
That should be the Knights. I mean, Titans.
I think that would be the case, yeah.
I mean,
This is what my shoulder will be. This is what that shoulder will be. This arm, that arm. I go in.
Mm-hmm.
what you think and what you get are going to be very different things.
Well,
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, I predicted the Knights being this way. I don't like that I did, but I did.
Well,
I mean, man, I mean,
Sisters
Dude,
of Silence are pretty much confirmed, though. Yay!
are they?
yeah.
There's so much code for them in the game.
Sisters of
So much.
Silence,
Well,
Imperial Fist,
Sisters
and
of
Collegia
Silence
Titanica.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Oh no!
The wall
No,
defense.
because that means we might get that Sisters of Silence character we've seen in event for like the entirety of this game's lifespan. I think she was like 1 mana to deal 1 damage, but she can act again.
Right. Yep, she was
A
one
machine
for
gun?
she was 1 for 1, but then also opponents' abilities cost 1 more.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's gonna be their whole spiel. Anyways, it's gonna be like,
Making
oh,
your
your stuff that you probably don't even use is gonna cost more.
Well,
because abilities are kind of worthless.
if you just made everything cost more, like if they were literally walking shield generators, I'd be fine with
Basically what
that.
they are.
Yeah. Yeah, they should
Well,
be.
which is cool.
They're null maidens. So like if every troop increased the tactic, like just
Null
had like
maidens.
increase the cost of opponent's tactics by 1 energy, or they've got another one like increase the cost of opponent's troops by 2. I mean, like just have those be the driving force, so you don't have to worry about playing Desolated Ground or Shield Generator or like cards that are so niche, that you don't play anyways. Yeah. Just
double down and become a Mother May I deck.
Why not? And then like the only way to go with that is just to be troopy or aggro, and which I think from what I heard happens in the book. Like Karn just backhands her, and that's how she dies.
Yeah.
I'd love to see them be truly unique and let you mix Custodes and them together. Like if you run a Custodes Warlord, you can mix in a few Sister of the Silence cards.
But the thing is that Custodes really aren't good, and I don't want my Custodes with my new things.
We need new Custodes stuff. Like, let's not talk about all the
Custodes were bad
theoreticals.
from the get-go.
Yeah.
Their cards were just so underwhelming from the get-go. Like, their mechanic is so horrible. Like, what? That's not even a mechanic. That's just like, oh, you like this Legion? Well,
I feel like it would be nice if their cards had lower stats, but an option when you play them to up their stats with a buff, but then give them Sentinel.
That wouldn't be like a kicker. Yeah.
Or just have Sentinel be an ability that activates on its own if that's the only troop you have on field. Like kind of like if you know, like, so that they can have this sort of singleton playstyle where their troop can do really crazy and cool things as long as that's the only one. But like I just
when alone gain a stat increase in Sentinel when it that would work.
The thing with Custodes is the Prospero faction as a whole, like aside from Thousand Suns getting nerfed and the Warlord changed to Russ and to what's his name, Bjorn.
Oh God, old Russ!
There haven't been any changes to the actual faction cards. And Custodes are really just Paragon Spear and Michaeler. That's it doesn't matter what warlord you pick. But that's ultimately the deck.
Yeah, that's where your deck begins and ends.
Yeah.
And nothing else in between matters.
And
like, okay, you'll probably use Hunting Eagles.
Yeah,
too,
but that's just to get to use your combo at some point and give you. It's really unfortunate that's it for the faction, because there should be more. They've got a lot of potentially cool cards, but there's really no reason to play them if you're trying to maximize that one single strategy. And I love, don't get me wrong, Paragon Spear is awesome. It's not the end all, but for that faction and the way they play, it is the end all.
Yeah, I mean, it could be worse. They could be Iron Hands.
Yeah.
Better nerf the hammer.
Yeah, let's
the hammer. Get buffed, nerf the hammer out of nowhere.
Nerf the hammer. Well, now why play with the hammer when you've got that new 3 energy card, right?
Oh God, mini hammer, especially with Ferris. That's actually usable now.
Shout out to Mortem. I played your deck where I faced Mortem and he played the Storm and he played that card afterwards, and I told him that it just didn't feel like it was his deck.
He's so salty about that. He's like, I built a cool deck, Scuff played it, and now he said it's not good enough to be my deck.
No,
sad.
I felt like somebody mentioned the idea to him and he put it in his deck and he didn't. Well, this is gonna kind of get to our topic where we're at, but I mean, like, I just felt like he played the idea, but it doesn't feel like he's yet taken ownership of the idea. I think there's potential there, and shout out if he wants to play for it and go all the way. Or somebody else wants to play and make it their own, but it's possible.
Look, at the end of the day, Mort is a living angry juice box, and that's what we all need to understand.
The angriest man alive. He wears that proudly, at least.
It's okay.
Yeah. No, he absolutely is the angriest man on the planet, and I'm not sure how his blood pressure holds, but I imagine that his blood would be like hot to the touch.
Just like an Iron Hand, man. They just are bitter and full of bitterness and bitter fruit.
Man, he lives up his Legion's name well.
He does.
I need to start yelling random sayings from religious texts and then burning them.
I like the fact that his handle on Discord is the name of a salt company, because he's so full of salt.
Is it?
More salt. More 10 salt, but just the same. That's what I see when I see it. I see salty man.
No.
I hope he doesn't know that, because I'm pretty sure the name is just Mortem, which is, I think, Latin for death or something.
Oh. Yeah.
So it going full circle is amazing.
Well, now it's just angry man that must be bullied.
Oh.
Yes.
He's a community meme. Everyone loves him.
Well,
yeah, exactly.
get into the player profiles. We can talk about how Morden builds up, because he's actually one of the first players where like I had a discussion like this as far as what type of player he is. And the Timmy Johnny Spike test is an article for anybody who would like to read along or read the article or follow, kind of just take the information and follow it from there, where you can gauge yourself. It is a concept or an article that was written by Mark Rosewater, and you could just type in Timmy Johnny Spike Magic the Gathering, and you're going to come across a bunch of different links, different articles. This is a long-standing article. The one that I linked up to you guys to read was from 2013, and I actually believe that's a follow-up to an article that was written in like 2006.
Damn. It's old.
Yes, yeah. The idea is very old, and even then, in the article, they mentioned that this is just something that they've had in their research and development unit as concepts that they kind of follow when they're creating cards. And then beyond that, once they had that locked, then he kind of shared this information with the public, as the community, like, this is just how we see it. And for those of you who want to see where you gauge and what kind of player you are, how you might view yourself, or why you appreciate certain aspects of the game, and it's not the same appreciation as somebody else that you might know. So,
I love the idea of card R&D, by the way. It's just
yes.
military grade talk for cards.
That's, well, if you're a multi-million-dollar corporation, you got to have an R&D at least. I mean,
Can we prove they're not secretly making bioweapons?
That's right. So the Timmy Johnny Spike are 3 different player types. Now, that doesn't mean that they're mono-defining. You can be defined by both 2 parts, all 3 parts. You could have certain elements. But it's really how you find fun in the game and what you enjoy about the game, like winning. Like, what's your style of win, what you enjoy about it, why you enjoy about it, and then at the same time, from the research and development side, why certain cards are created to appeal to those particular players. Now, Magic is a different game than Horus Heresy Legions, and I don't think the design team is anywhere on the same page when it comes to that. I think a lot of the card design in Legions is more designed to the energy curve and to try to be in line with certain hard set rules within the game itself, more than it is to appeal to players. But that doesn't mean that certain mechanics and concepts don't appeal to players.
I mean, I think when we talk about like the development for Legions cards, is I think Legions cards don't experiment enough, and that they're actually really self-restrictive.
Mm-hmm.
Like I just don't. Like if you do look at Magic the Gathering, obviously there's a huge difference. Like you cannot compare them.
No, you can't.
That's not even fair.
Can't.
That's like expecting a child to be able to fist fight Mike Tyson and win. Like it's not gonna work.
100%.
But Magic, Magic's been around since like what, the 80s,
Mm-hmm.
and they've had
Time.
time, and more money than anybody could know what to do with to develop and get crazy with this game. Like they can go, they can even make the stupidest crossovers that nobody liked, Walking Dead, and still come out unscathed, even though The Walking Dead was like, everyone was like, yeah, don't do that ever again. Of course they're doing that Warhammer crossover, which looks terrible, by the way.
Have you seen images for it? Or
yeah, I've seen a couple images.
See, you have to link those up so I can take a peek.
All right, I'll go fetch them. But like, the thing is, though, is that no matter what, even in its earliest stages, Magic tried to push itself. It tried to push its boundaries. And I don't think Legions really does that.
Yeah, I agree. I think there's a lot of territory that they could do that they have chosen not to.
Yeah.
Like cards.
I mean, the thing is, like Legions is like, it's only ever going to like innovate within its expansion specific to a Legion, and then it'll try and incorporate that into some of the newer cards, some of the other new cards, and then some of the old ones, or sometimes they just won't. In the case of White Scars, where they just did zero innovation whatsoever, and they're like, "Here's White Scars." It's like, Okay.
No new mechanic.
Well, I mean, fast and flank.
that
I
was-
think that's pretty self-defined. I don't think you need much more than that.
You know who else has that? Everybody.
Everybody, but they don't have return to hand. That's a thing. Like, it's not really well flushed out, and there really wasn't much else beyond that.
Actually, Death Guard has return to hand. Fast
Yeah,
and
well,
flank.
they have Eisenhorn. That's their one card that returns it to the hand.
Got him.
Yeah.
Got him. Hang on. Where's that? So I'm still trying to find that images of some of the
40K
some of the
stuff.
cards shown. Yeah, it's not out yet.
There's no Carcharodons. You don't got me.
But
Simple as that.
no, but I
No,
mean,
it's like
from
a
design
standard
elements,
deck.
they absolutely, you can't compare the two. But I think the player types are defined across any game. I think that there's just going to be those player types, and I think there's other player types beyond 3 in some games because the games lend themselves to that. Board games, tabletop games are going to have different player types, But the key concept is that there's going to be 3 main player definitions in a game, and then so where do you rank it? Where do you see yourself, and what niche or which definition do you view yourself? What is it that drives your definition of fun in Legions? What do you enjoy about the game?
You offended me by pronouncing niche as niche. I didn't see that coming.
What was that?
I said you pronounced niche as niche, and it hit me like a truck. I didn't see that coming.
Oh, I don't know. Did I do that? I must have missed that.
How do you say that word?
Niche?
Niche or niche? Yeah, I heard niche, and I paused for a minute.
Oh.
Okay, if that's not how you normally say it, we won't have any problem.
No, usually it's niche.
I'm gonna start saying it as niche now.
You should. It's smack my niche up.
Yeah.
But the
I
the
see.
it
was a mock-up image.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Oh.
Now I feel dumb. So
The,
they haven't shown anything.
they haven't
yet.
shown
It
anything
was no, it looks like it was like a mock-up that somebody put out and said this is what it is. And I was like, that's underwhelming. So I guess we'll have to wait and see. But I don't know.
time will tell.
Probably won't.
I think there's just it's not going to be, well, it's not. It's going to be Magic. It's not going to be 40K. It's going to be Magic with 40K art and stuff.
They'll find a way to make it. They'll find a way to make it feel 40K.
If it's in
They'll find a
Commander,
way.
I think Commander's a decent format, but I mean, it
is going to be Commander.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, you're still tapping. You're still paying mana. You're still, I mean, like the game itself is still Magic, and the card back doesn't say 40K. It says Magic with the little 5 emblems on it. It's not going to be any different.
As it should be.
Yeah,
But I mean, yeah, I just feel like Legions though, just trying to get back on track here, like doesn't really innovate. And so like and I looked at that article that you were talking about and try to think of where I fit in anywhere, and I realized that there really aren't the systems or innovative collection in place in Legions for I think this to really apply to me a lot. Like, I kept trying to think about it, like, where do I fit in on that sort
How
of
did these
spectrum?
just say Barb and Falk?
Yeah, exactly. None of them say Barb and Falk, but at the same time, like, man, look, Barb and Falk is about as high as my innovation can go. Okay, and even then, there's like not much else I can do. There's not like I just don't see anything in the cards that inspire me or make me want to make something out of it. And even then, I just don't think that there's enough stuff to really create cool, unique things. Like, you look at a lot of the top decks now. Like, really, it's just kind of a good stuff deck. Like that Aramon deck that was running around for a little while that I think Vapix made. It was a lot of singletons, but it was basically just Aramon good stuff and just keep using your hero power. Nobody can interact with you. Okay. The Horus deck, it was just here's some burn and here's some fast units that hit face vroom vroom. Okay, like it just doesn't, like, where's the control decks? Where's the combos? Why is Death Guard bad still?
Yeah, the game itself, I mean, it's again, it's not, I don't think the cards are designed the same way because there's an energy curve that's a given, and the faction has to have, like, there's not a single faction that has like 0 cost cards above 4. Like every faction has got cards at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Like whether or not they're good or not, like that's how they design it for whatever reason. That's the way they've chosen to go. So in that, like, yeah, you can play a bunch of top heavy, but you will suffer. You can pay a bunch of low heavy, but then you'll suffer in the long run. There are combos that exist. I think the Falkening, I think just in playing that and the way you execute a win with Falk is is a Johnny style, if anything, because you're playing the combo, you know it's going to happen, and when it does, you're like, there you go, that's it. There's the 23 damage to face. Have fun.
Yeah.
You know, like
no, I would definitely agree with that.
yeah, but it's not. But you're right. I mean, there's something like the Timmy definition is the power gamer that likes big cards. Well, big cards exist in this game, but they're played differently. Like there's
Actually, with a Canis DD.
because the whole thing is also to take into account. I mean, Magic is being a different game. Magic has instants and interrupts. 40k does not. 40k has, at best, we've got secret orders and maybe quest. And so there's no interruption of your opponent, which really throws off the concept of having a control. So really, your big card is everybody who plays a big card. You're experiencing that you're all right. My Dark Martyr's stuck. He didn't hard remove it. It's game time, you know. Or all right, my Learning Hydra didn't get blown up, and now I can really amplify it with X card. Oh, here comes the Desperate Defense build. You know, like, I mean, yes, it's a build, but you're getting big cards. Surprise, the big cards just do a lot more damage. Like that's how this game is designed compared to, well, it's a high cost card, but it can give you all these wonderful things, and you can have a board of, like, you know, full of whatever tokens, and it's a different thing all in its own. Well, so I think the Timmy player is harder to show, because I think anybody who plays a large troop is experiencing what a power game or a Timmy player would feel, because yeah, of course I got a 7/7 on the board. What's not to like?
You know, I just don't think that there's a lot of like, especially in Legions, I don't think that there's a lot of like impactful, like huge fat creatures. Like they just kind of are there and don't, like a lot of them really just don't do anything.
Right.
There's a couple of fat ones, but they tend to be like legendary.
The best ones that exist, like if I had to say like fat, we're talking, what would you say to define like the cost? 7+ or 8+?
Maybe like 7+, maybe even to a lesser extent 6+.
Okay, 6+. I would say Mortar Carrier. I mean, even with its reduction, that's still a worthwhile high cost card. But that's a neutral, like anybody can run it. Well, Dark Martyr, Attilan Score.
Yeah, I was gonna say Score is definitely one of those.
We're talking like, yeah, we're like, those are really just like a one-done legendary, you know, like that's, and to be fair, if you're playing against Alpha Legion, you know he's gonna throw that down, like that's the hard removal. So the 9/9 sticking doesn't happen too often. Like he gets the stun off, he does the damage, unless you warp retreat him back in, or your opponent doesn't have a hard removal answer. It's very rare for you to actually hit with that 9/9.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, no. I completely agree. Like, you know, there definitely are some cards that are definitely Timmy City, Attilan Score, maybe even
most of Word Bearers are, in my opinion.
Word Bearers in general, or a lot of their stuff.
I'd just say, like, in general, they tend to be, here's a fat troop that's only going to get more annoying.
Well, maybe, but I was also thinking something like maybe like Mount Faros, because like it's so janky, but you can, like, if it does go off, like it's huge. Like you can just totally blow somebody out like tomorrow. Like it can be a blowout, or you can just get dunked on by Melgator. You know, whichever one really.
Doombringer, or you know, Ferris, like things. The way the game is paced, things that have an immediate benefit either at the start of your turn or at the end of your turn, or a rally effect, are really those types of cards. Otherwise, you're really gambling. Like, unless it's got Ward and Survivor or something like that, like, and even then, that's never a guarantee, because Win of the Week or Conqueror exists, and those don't get played as often. They're out there, but they're really not, like, they're not played often because they're not a great winning strategy in the way that Legions works. Because also, Legions being a digital game works faster. There's a shorter timer. You've got that 30 to 40 health to win. Magic's got 20 health, but the way Magic works with summoning sickness and blah, 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 and there's no direct Warlord to create that pressure right from turn 1, it's a different game. So that element you can't consider the same. So when you have a big, large unit, if you get it, it's either a win more card or it's a one and done type thing,
Yeah, absolutely. In Magic, a single fatty can end the game. But at the same time, like, have you ever gone against like an aggro? Have you ever played Magic Gathering Arena, the like newest online?
I played 2013 was the last one I played. It's been a long time since I played online. Yeah,
because I was gonna say, because I gave that a try. I was like, how fast could this game be? It's slow. It's Magic.
Mm-hmm.
No, dude, red decks like it's like 4 turns. And like, and you're dead.
haste and burn. And your best bet is
all burn. 3 damage, 3 damage, 3 damage. You're just like, oh, okay, cool.
This is job.
Make a Sons of Horus look like Chump.
Yeah, I think the Timmy, which is those players who really thrive on the big drop and big stuff. They like at best, the best argument I could make for that would be players who really enjoy using supply lines and maybe like tactical brilliance or whatever, and dropping a Thedorian. Yeah, Saul definitely like drop big bodies early on, and what's not to like. Which that's a fair assessment. But it's really limited. It's hard to get, like, when it works, it's great and you feel great about it, but it's not as defining. Whereas I think the game in Legions is a lot more rewarding. When I say rewarding, I think players enjoy it more who are of the Spike or Johnny mindset. Like, they win with style, like I got my combo off, or I got to play my Pride of the Emperor, Vengeful Spirit, or whatever it was, my finisher, and I'm happy. Or the Spike player, and the Spike player is that player who plays competitively to win, and they'll play whatever wins, whenever it's good, because that's their rush is winning. And the article itself like breaks down specifically, like that's their winning for them 9 times out of 10 may not even be enjoyable if they thought that they could have won that 10th game. And I really see that especially in the top 50 players who have got to have a high win rate with their decks in order for them to be at that level. So any deck that can't get, was it 70 plus win rate, they don't even consider, they don't even enjoy, they don't even want to play it. Not to mention the speed of X deck. It's got to be fast enough so I can play so many games. It's a different game, but that is the mindset of the Spike player, that the top 50, anybody who's grinding for high ladder and Terra. I definitely see that being the personality set for those players. Now, that's not to say that they don't enjoy, the game for other elements, for combos or for thematics or for having a new innovative deck or for just dropping a big fat, troop down, because you use that in the decks. But I don't think that's what drives them more than anything, because if it did, I don't think they would be as successful at top 50, because they get distracted by whatever it is that they're enjoying. And top 50 is a very demanding commitment.
Crazy, some of the people there. Not what they do, but the actual people. You guys are insane. How much time you put.
Props to anybody who makes it, but it's a commitment. So I tip my hat off to them. But I think that's really where it defines. Like, for me, I see myself more as a Johnny than anything else, because I do enjoy playing anything and everything, and I may not win every game, but if I got to do what I built the deck to do, if there's a card that's not working for me, I take it out. But if I'm building to do a certain thing, then I'm going to put things into fuel and build on that one specific thing more than anything. If I want to get a Warlord to work, I put cards in the deck to make that Warlord work as best as I possibly can. And that's my enjoyment, is seeing that actually happen. So
yeah, no, and I think I think I probably am a Johnny as well. Like, for me, it's just, hey, this is fun. Let's do it again.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter to me if it's like some big splashy thing or whatever. I just happen to like combos.
Yeah.
That's just it.
Combos, and you can have a combo in a mid-range, you can have a combo in aggro, you can have combo in control. They all offer their different, their different aspects. Yeah. But it is fun when those pieces come together. Oh,
dude, once you Exodia someone, it's great. It's always funny. But But yeah, no. Being top 50, you definitely need to be a spike. And even then, man, it's so tiring to be top 50. I don't know how some people do it. Like I've tried before, and it's just it just stops being fun. And like
That's a whole topic for a different thing. I mean, I agree. I did top 50 twice. Early on, I wasn't even tracking, and the one time I set out to do better, I think it hit. I want to say I hit like 43 or 46, and just with work schedule, like that's the best I could do, and it was a grind, and it was not a pleasant month, and that was before card backs were gifted. Which really irked me because I think it was either the month after or 2 months later when they said, "Hey, we're gonna start giving out card backs." I was like, really? But it was enough for me to be like, okay, I did it. I don't want to do this again. Like this part, I did not enjoy. Yeah. So I mean, there's guys who do it every month, and I don't know how they do it.
There was one guy back in beta. There is this one guy, and he was the lodge master of the lodge. I randomly ended up taking over Shadow Hunters. This dude somehow was like number one on the leaderboard, like always, and had like 10,000 points on his own. Like, and all he did was play Angron. That is it. Nothing else. Just Angron. He just masked Angron day and night like a bot.
I mean, to be fair, at the time, that would not have been hard to do. Like, your best competition would be running into somebody else who was Angron.
Or Mortarion.
Yeah.
Yeah, but nobody was playing Mortarion back then, because Death Guard were terrible.
They still are, don't worry, that hasn't changed.
They've gotten to a point where I can look at them and go, I may one day kind of play them.
I have fun with Death Guard, but it's a different fun. It's really just like, okay, like, it's a long game, and I do it, like, every now and then I play that one long game, like, and I'm good for a couple weeks before I touch Death Guard again.
I mean, when I look at Death Guard, I just kind of look at them and say, oh yeah, I remember what that one time Mitrix broke the game with Garo. That was cool.
Yeah.
I forgot.
I'm not a fan of Death Guard. Well, that's a bad statement. I retract that. I have just never been into Death Guard. Primarily, they were the last faction I collected all the stuff for, and they, at the time, and still, they are a faction that you need to have those epics and key legendaries. Like, if you don't, like, you need to have 2 times endurance. You need to have vengeance. You probably are going to want to have, well, you definitely want to have their, 3-drop, the Eusebius or whatever his name is.
Yeah. Captain Ujioj.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the only legendaries you really need are Ujioj and Mortarion's Resolve.
Yeah.
Because those are the only good cards. Everything else is just kind of garbage.
What, you don't like the maneuver?
No.
And then, like, I mean, I guess they did change it. That's right. Even still, like, a lot of their cards are garbage. Poison is garbage. It's better on Korbacks. Like, it just sucks on them. No, I don't want my crap cards to activate a crap mechanic. Like, come on, dude.
No, it's the good cards that they have are those ones that just have punch. And at the time, that was before they nerfed the Plague Marine and the Plague Elite, because those had higher attack. So they scaled those guys down. And
not like it made a difference.
No, I mean, just you don't see them around, but the game also was in a different state and time. So, like, just getting into this faction, I was never huge on. Not a big deal. I didn't miss anything. And by the time I got everything, the game was in a different state, and I never really went back to it. Like, I play them to play them. Like, I'll play Typhon a lot more than I played Rask or Mortarion, because he works a little bit better now, and that's kind of fun, but he's still not my style. I don't enjoy.
Yeah.
If I play Control, I want to have control, and I want to end the game when I want to end the game. And Death Guard have control, but the end the game when you want to end the game doesn't happen. It just is like, just keep the control up and the game will end at some point. Like, it's not like you have control over when the game ends. Whereas Alpha Legion, you can have control when the game ends. Like, that's my idea of control that I really enjoy.
Yeah.
Someone tried to tell me they played a non-attrition Mortarion the other day, and then told me they won by decking out. I don't understand what you're telling me, but you can't play Mortarion unless, like, attrition.
Yeah.
It's just not fun.
The biggest thing is that, outside of Death Shroud, Death Guard don't have a way to win the game,
Mm-mm.
and chances are, even if they're playing Death Shroud, that is like a total YOLO move sometimes because they probably don't have a board and they don't have a way to fight for the board.
Mhm.
Like they're fall behind, stay behind, and dude, you better hope that Death Shroud can kill them in like one turn, not two, because everybody else is gonna outpace you. Like, cool, you got Death Shroud out on 8. That's awesome. I'm about to pummel you for 8 damage for the same amount of mana, and I don't have to waste my time.
The best thing,
or
that,
you know,
that
I'm
Death Guard,
Bargain Falk, so I'm gonna hit
yeah,
you for like 24 on turn on 5 mana.
yeah. The best thing that Death Guard can hope for is to get Death Shroud with an abandoned supplies like that.
Yeah.
You put him out at 6, and that's a different game. It still is slower, but it's a better option for you. But that's really the best that they can hope to do. They don't have that instant punch. They've got a lot of healing, but there is no, like, their closest to direct damage that they've got is Vengeance, which you have to have your Warlord attack with, so it's not even from hand. I mean, you got Endurance, but that's a little different. But yeah, like, it's a different faction, and it just does not... That's like I said, like, it just doesn't end the game. It doesn't control when it ends the game for me, and that's what I don't like about it.
Yeah, I mean, I like Death Guard, and I want them to be good, but playing them feels like I'm trying to hold myself hostage at gunpoint.
Did I tell you, Cass, how I got into this game? I've mentioned this on the podcast a few times. I started with Death Guard.
Yeah.
It actually took me away from this game. Because I went in like, oh, I love Death Guard on the tabletop. They're so neat looking. I love my Nurgle boys. And I played them and I went, man, I hate Death Guard. Everything wrong with them.
Man, I hate Death Guard.
I quit this game, and I only came back after learning about Argyle Tall and the Word Bearers.
Mhm.
Since then,
I was gonna say, and that's how Axel became a loyalist. But never mind.
He just dived into Undivided.
I mean, Ultramarines are also pretty terrible. They are straight up just mediocre to an extreme. Like,
Jack of all trades, master of none.
Yeah.
more like jack of nothing, master of like they're not even a jack of anything. Like they're like a blunt Swiss Army knife.
They've got
Trying their hardest.
They've got like 2 strategies. You know, they've got Marcellus, go Marcellus all the way, and then play some tactics like that's, and like, I mean, that's it. Like, I don't think that they're designed poorly. I enjoy the faction for flexibility. I think they're really good in tournaments because they can be flexible in tournaments. On ladder, it's hard.
I mean, I just think courage is kind of a crappy mechanic. But
Yeah, I'm not going to defend the mechanic. I'm just saying as a faction for
I
what
love
they've
it.
got.
I love it thematically. The second biggest legion. What's their gimmick? Being outnumbered. Okay.
outnumbered. Yeah.
Like, it kind of makes sense for Callus, like what happened there. But when you look at it from mechanic wise, it's like, man, second biggest legion, got to be outnumbered to be useful. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We can't have nearly as many men as our enemies do. This is practical.
Yes.
We must fight 5-1. I like her odds.
5-1. I like our odds. Remember McCrag later in the future, boys.
Right. That's when we're at our best, is when we're outnumbered. What? Shouldn't it be like when we have overwhelming odds? No, we're just going to make so many mistakes when that happens.
And around it, good. We can fire in every direction.
Brother, we outnumber them. Oh, shoot the scouts.
Quick, go on a suicide charge so our dreadnought will fire one more time.
Where do you see yourself, Axel? Like between the player profiles, how do you view yourself?
Probably Johnny. Like I just like winning. Like I don't want to go for big troop. I just like having a fun time. That's my goal at the end of the day. Like my deck could have a negative win rate, but if every time I play it, I have a fun time, I'm happy.
Then you're a Timmy.
Is that Timmy? I thought that was Johnny.
Yeah, no, that's Timmy. Timmy is, you don't care about the number of wins, you care about the quality of wins.
Yeah.
I thought Timmy was power.
That is, Timmy's a power gamer, but
Timmy's also kind of power gamer, but
I know Spike is a power gamer and win no matter what.
Johnny's more win with flair.
Yeah. I played, for Christ's sake, or rather, for the Void's sake, or the Warp's sake, rather, I played Word Bearers. I'd call myself a Johnny. I love winning with the big troop that gets big numbers, and I did something cool with a combo. Like the Word Bearer combo, though, is the easiest thing in the world. One of my troops stick to the board, you lose.
Mm-hmm.
So fun.
Okay. What a combo!
It's huge.
Hey, Cat, I put 2 cards together, sometime 3 if I'm Zardu. Okay, that's a combo.
Dark Martyr,
Man, I
Dark
remember.
Blessing. Get dark with it.
Man, I
Dark
remember.
Martyr, Slave Blade, and then I throw some Dark
You
Blessing.
get Dark Martyr, Dark Knight, Darkwing Duck.
I remember.
Let's get dangerous.
Oh no. I remember a long time ago. What were those? What card was that, Zine? It's been so long since we've actually even like talked about this card in particular. But the pink horrors, the demon.
Oh, the changers.
Changers. Yeah, I remember a long time ago when Fulgrim and
Yes.
Changers would just start a laser light show and just
Yes.
terrorize the ladder for like months.
Yeah,
Oh man,
those were the days.
It would hit anything.
Yes,
Pretty much.
and was one damage was 1 to 3 instead of 1 to 2.
And I think it would hit for like 1. No, I thought it was 1 to 3 at that time.
It was 1 to 3 instead of 1 to 2, and they had 5 health. And with the Emperor's Children, you could get the cost reduction, but then you would also play a bunch of 1-drops and like the guys who like rallied and created Mechindrites, and you could combo like start at like 6 to 7 energy, drop your opponent to 0, especially if you had no troops on the board to soak up some of that damage, and then end with Pride of Emperor on your next turn. And Pride of Emperor returned to hand.
Oh, that was the old Pride of Emperor days.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just put 2 and 2 together. Oh no.
Dude, they destroyed to Last Changers. Like that card is completely unplayable.
It's
we all
yeah.
know that.
Yeah.
I've never seen it used unless it's being
I
generated.
really hate that that's their go-to on balance decisions when it comes to nerfing something. They just completely make it unplayable. They're like, yeah, this can never be played again. Okay, everybody? And we're like, well, okay, great. This game doesn't exactly have the biggest card pool on the planet, but so thanks for destroying a card and making it unusable.
Well, and that's the thing.
thing.
When it comes to their balance decisions, because it's a digital card game, things can wax and wane. Cards are not set in stone. That's fine. But I also wonder sometimes with some of the balance changes that they do, how much of that is like, wow, we're getting a lot of feedback that's not good. We need to really dial this card back. Or is it just like, hey, we just need to dial this card back, but then they overtune it just because they overtune everything, and then that's the way they go about it. Because there have been a couple cards that got tweaked minorly, and you're like, okay, that's perfect. That's just enough. It's fair, and it works. But that's not the general. That's the exception to the rule when it comes to how they balance. I think that'd be a good question for them. Speaking of which, I got to send them an email, because now that they've responded to my email about spoilers, I need to send them an email to see if we can get one or whoever, if they're interested in being on the podcast, because I'd like to
Better if the hammer.
yeah, I'd like to bend their ear and see and kind of get a chat behind the screen if they can talk about that.
I
I'll
really
virtually
just
point a gun at them and ask them to make hammer hit face.
Well, look, for Kaz, I will ask if they're going to make Akshub a warlord. I'll do that for you.
Please, I will love you forever if you do. Like, so we're here to ask real questions around this podcast.
Right.
Is Akshub going to be a warlord? Mind you, I have a gun.
I'll ask if they can put some Dawn of War 3 references in the game.
Oh.
No.
Kazrim Cox is in the background.
Well, speaking of Dawn of War 3, I guess we should be talking about like what. I mean, I don't know. Do you guys have anything else to cover on the subject of Timmy, Johnny, Spike as it relates to Legions?
A lot of people fall into the Spike category, which is how the cards worked in this game. It's like
I feel like yeah, the game is pretty geared towards Spike in general.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a fair assessment. Yeah,
I agree. I mean, ladder is the driving force. There's no. I mean, we have tournaments, but it's not like it's a feature in the game. There's events, and like you want to win, and you're gonna pick the. Before we were doing draft, people were finding out what's the one deck that wins, and they pick that, and then they go with that into events. There's not a lot of factors beyond that. I think, like I said, I think the game favors the Johnny Spike element way more than the Timmy element. If there's any sort of Timmy element, it just kind of is tagged on to whatever experience that a Johnny or a Spike player are getting. And again, for those who are interested in the article, just type in Johnny Timmy Spike. It's written by Magic. It's written by Mike Rosewater. It's a long-standing article. It's just a theory of psychological profile, psychosomatic. I don't know that it's not the keyword that they use, but it's a definition of the player types out there. And outside Legions, I think, again, you can still apply it to other games as well and see yourself as far as how you play a game and what you enjoy about the game. But I really do think that the key enjoyment factors that a lot of Legion players get is, I want to win, and I don't care what wins. I'm playing top 50, so I've got to win X amount. Yeah. Or I got off this combo that I've been working on, whether it's, T-Loss Changers was an example, but Falkening was a perfect example of that too. Buffing up a hand and using harrowing. That's you got your plan off. That was your plan, was to do that. You executed it with style and flair. Traps are terrible.
That's what I hate about traps. Maybe they're awful game design and they're not fun to play against, but they are a combo.
Yeah.
Players go
I love Alpha Legion Mill. Get out of here. Stop talking crap about it.
Hashtag don't play traps. Don't do it.
Want to know how I beat him, Pat? Want to know how I beat him?
Hold up. Hashtag what?
Hashtag don't play traps. Don't do it, Kaz.
Is this the first time Scuff will have to kill a guest live on air?
Don't play traps, man.
Yep, that's right. No, I will continue to trap the masses. All right.
Okay. Shout out to the last event where I saw a guy have 5 infiltrations and 5 seeds of betrayal in his deck.
That's something to work with. Events. The event, at least, they put it out there. They made it happen. But people going in and expecting wins with traps.
There are too much of it.
Dude, it happens a lot. I can regularly get to like 3,500 just running Alpha Legion Mill.
Not mill, but just traps. Like, you're not even trying to mill them. What we're talking about, like,
you're just traps and infiltration and bronzy at the end.
Every 10 matches, you'll win one, but the rush from winning one will keep you going, and you'll find yourselves in a loop where you won't gain ground. That happened to me.
Oh my god, it's a casino.
Don't do it, man.
I've called them a slot machine since I first ran into traps, okay? They're a goddamn slot machine.
The highest I've ever faced an opponent, my deck was 35 cards, and I believe 80% of that was traps. Not one was pulled the entire game. That was the highest that I've ever seen it, and I was like, I pinged him in Global. I was like, dude, I'm sorry, that was terrible for you. Like, just don't do that again. Like, save yourself the time. Like, that's a negative experience.
I feel so bad. Don't try that shit again, though.
Seriously, like, you are giving yourself a negative experience. You deserve better. Be true to yourself.
Treat yourself.
Treat yourself to not play traps.
Play Secret Order and go pack like a Chad.
That's it. Yeah. High five digitally. Pack is the way to go.
I've been converted to the pack life, and I've been having a blast.
Oh.
Why'd you say "oh" like that?
Oh, I didn't know that was possible. It's true.
Kaz just wants to toss down right now.
His style, man.
No. I'm not.
No, it's all good.
I'm a simple man. Don't hurt me.
Falk and possibly Akshub if she would be in the game.
Bro, look, if I have to, if the Legions, I'll say this right now. If the Legions devs agree to put Akshub in, and all I have to do is just live stream Falk for 24 hours straight, I will do it. Like, just give me Akshub. Like, I'm tired of this. Just give me the Warlord. Give me the card. I don't care what I have to do.
Local man invades Spain in order to get Akshub.
That's worth the content too, because then you could just like have a video of just like yourself slowly going mad. And like here's the caveat: like, you have to play that one deck, no deviations, like nonstop, like 24, like bathroom breaks. You get bathroom breaks. That's it.
You get 2 mandatory bathroom breaks.
I mean,
it could be worth watching. It could be worth watching.
No, I don't want to. I'll go crazy. I just want Akshub, man. I just want to have fun, and I can't have that.
It could happen. It could happen. They teased her. I think I saw them tease her at some point this last 4 or 5 months.
The last Q&A we did, I asked them about Akshub, and this is like I don't know how many times this has been because I've even emailed them, but like they even just straight up said no in one of Akshub's quotes.
Well,
So it's not. It's
hoping
really not.
when the legions are all in and they start adding the other warlords, she'll be brought in. I hope we get that DLC warlord because I want his full auto Jaeger machine gun. That's a story for another day.
Yeah, Galen.
No.
Yeah, act again, just 1E, just pow, 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 just producing Jaegers. Can't stop him. Think about it, Jaeger machine gun.
Jaeger swarm, let's go.
He can shoot his own Jaegers and he can theoretically just keep you there until he runs out of energy.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
Yeah, you're thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
If only we could get his ability down to 0 energy.
That's too much.
Yeah, last time someone's ability went down to 0, they got nerfed in like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Ingothel.
That was great though. Those were a good 20 minutes.
What about the time Knight Commander was 0 energy, so AI would infinitely turn their Astartes into Magos Astartes, keeping them in the match?
Yes, that was a bad idea. I don't know why. Like, it's just they don't consider the AI when they make these changes.
I love the AI so much. Have you ever played against a Lotera bot? Like, their turn 1 will always be the same. Drop their troop, play their counterattack, Ursa Claw. I
haven't played a bot in a very long time. And I don't know. I mean, like, maybe it's just the time I play, but like, I don't. It's if I face a bot, it's in an event. Like, I don't face bots that often.
I'll face them in practice sometimes, but not often.
They're out there. They're definitely out there. But the way they pair, I don't know. I'm just in a good place where there's a lot of players who want to play and have fun. That's the way to be.
What he's trying to say is he's built different.
That's right. When you're not playing Legions, what do you do? What else are you playing there, Kaz?
Oh, lately, I mean, I've been playing a little bit of Dawn of War Soulstorm, a whole lot of Europa
that you had me in the first half, but you betrayed me in the last half.
Oh, okay. A whole lot of Europa Universalis 4. That game's been kind of stealing my soul, but I love Paradox games. They're so good. Yeah. Yeah, I did buy the DLC. That's right.
So much money.
Don't worry about that. You can get off G2A and spend like $80 on all of it. All of the DLC rather than like $300.
G2A, I recommend it. It may be morally ambiguous, but
hey, look, the broke man is always within me. Okay, I'm not saying I sponsor them or anything like that. Jesus, dude, I'd never do that. I just
get a G2A sponsor. Make money.
No, thank you.
Throw away your morals. Make money.
That's what a lot of people said when they got into stripping.
Yeah, but I found I've had a lot more time on my hands since I found I've had a lot more time on my hands since I've like retired from my previous line of work again, and I've gone into like just regular, pretty much 9 to 5s. So I have a lot more time on my hands than ever to play games. It's like, wow, this is great. Let's see. I know I'm waiting on a couple games to release that I've already pre-ordered. So like they're making a remake of Rome Total War 1. They're doing a remaster of SMT Nocturne, which will be fun.
Oh, yeah. I'll hear about that.
Yeah. No, I'm hyped for Nocturne. What about you? What have you guys been playing?
Man, master of segue. I don't know. I've just been playing I've been playing Alpha Legion a lot lately in Horus Heresy.
Oh.
When I play this game.
Yeah.
No traps because I'm not a coward. And besides that, I don't know. I've been Thanksgiving's up, so I haven't done much D&D related things. So the group has agreed to take a break for that related to a holiday. I was going to say I'm just writing up the next session that may or may not have the party accidentally sell their soul to the devil, but that's not important.
That's not important at all. Major plot hook.
I love just messing with them because they don't pick up signs right away. Because they'll realize it when it's way too late, where they've already shot the guy who's innocent, and then they go, "Oh shoot!" and then their entire day is ruined.
I had one time when I was playing a game, and I had a town rip apart the innocent Duke of the town because I was convinced that he was like a pawn of the major bad guys, and I had all the rolls go right, and giant angry mob tore apart this guy, and then like they elected me the Duke. And meanwhile, like I'm thinking this is great, and like 2 sessions later, he's like, "Yeah, so you find out that the Duke was innocent and like literally was trying to do good things." I'm like, "Oh, well, I'm the Duke." Yeah, I'm like, "Well, I'm the Duke now, so fuck that guy." I still don't buy that. I think that's a shit story.
That's funny.
That's fake news.
You basically fake news.
That's cool. I'll like that. I'll believe in it.
Yeah. Well, I'm playing. We're doing the Blood Bowl League in the Screen Discord, so I've been playing that. Blood Bowl 2, getting my Minotaur killed in turn 1.
Cow man.
Yeah,
Lived a good life. Short one, but a good one.
it was fun. It was. I got another game to go before I have enough funds to buy another Minotaur, so I'm hurting. But playing that, trying to get some videos done in the meantime for content and handling the podcast. And we've got family and holiday stuff coming up. So I mean, my game stuff really has been like late night, kind of squeezed in like 1 hour here, 1 hour there.
I completely understand. I kept telling myself that, between this pandemic and all this extra time I have on my hands these days, I'm going to get so much done. No, dude, I just procrastinate and watch anime. That's my spare time. I procrastinate.
I've been watching some good stuff, though. I have like Friday, Saturday, Sunday nights. It's like I give myself just like 3 hours just to watch shows that I have been sitting on for a while. Have you guys caught Invincible on Amazon?
No.
You good?
It's good. It's good. I like it. I was always kind of curious about the comic. It's written by the guy who does Walking Dead. It's so far. Granted, I don't know anything about the comic and how the story goes, but the idea is, there's superheroes, but it's like there's some violence in there. There's like things die and stuff, and I don't know enough to really hook beyond that to decide that the main character is like a kid. He knows his dad's superhero and he's going to become one, and he becomes one, and then you just go with it. But so far, this show is, I think the 4th episode is tonight. So that's pretty good.
I like the darker superheroes.
It's dark. I mean, like the end of the episode 1 is pretty nice. I'll say that.
You ever watched or read The Boys? I think it's called.
Yes, I just finished watching season 1. Yeah,
I like how your plot synopsis is basically just like, things die.
things
die.
That's it. Like things are gonna die. Yeah,
I mean, that's all you need to know. Things die.
Things die.
People die when they are killed.
If that is what you like, you're gonna like this. Yeah. The The Boys. I watched season 1. I'm ready to start season 2. I'm doing Falcon Winter Soldier now. Watched WandaVision. Unfortunately, I was not able to finish JoJo before Netflix pulled it off. So I'm trying to watch Transformers Earthrise right now, trying to get that trilogy done. Because
we need to illegally acquire any anime. I know the sources.
I might have to catch up on that because there's quite a few episodes I didn't get to finish.
I guess you can just use my Crunchyroll account.
Not even that. Just type in the words into your search bar for legal reasons. Axel Manning does not support these actions. GoGoAnime.pro, and it has literally everything.
I'm gonna pretend like I didn't hear that, and yet I'm already typing the same. And
I just want to see it all.
Dude, I get the weirdest reactions from people when they're like, "Wait, you like anime?" And I'm like, "Yeah."
Well, there's 2 types of anime watchers, and I just mentioned this today in a Discord in the general. There's the Chad people who watch it, and then they talk about it sometimes, but they're fine with it. And then there's the people who buy the body pillows.
Bro, yeah, I don't go that far.
No.
Dude. I'm not like, okay, I'll put it to you like this. It's not like anytime I'm traveling through Japan, it's not like I just immediately run out of the airport and go like, I need to go to Akihabara right now. No, dude, I don't do that. Like, dude,
I know the types of anime that I like. I've liked anime since Voltron when I was a kid. Like, that was when I got hooked. And then, like, because it was so rare to begin with, so that then I caught Akira and Vampire Hunter D.
Of course, Akira.
I guess I blame like Pokemon and my weird cousin would just watch it whenever I'd visit their house.
See, I mean, like, so I have no problem. I mean, people enjoy Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, whatever. Like, whatever your thrill is. Like, if you like anime, that's good for you. Like, I don't take it to the level where it's weird. So I know some people do. Like, I don't need it to define me. I did that for Star Wars for a long time, and then I realized, like, like any fandom is going to have weird people in it. I was talking to somebody about this the other day.
Guy.
Yeah. So it doesn't matter. But like, if you know what you like, you should be comfortable and confident and enjoy it.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, don't get me wrong. I like anime and all that, but it's not like I'm going around buying all the products and like licking my computer screen or my phone, being like, "Oh, yes, get in my bloodstream." Like I'm not doing that, and I know that there's people that do that, and that shit's weird.
It is.
I knew several people like that.
What would you say is your? So I mean, just while we're on the anime subject, what genre, what type of anime would you say you enjoy the most?
Oh, dude. Honestly, that's a really hard question for me, actually. Like, I always try to be prepared. Yeah, it just kind of whatever I feel like watching, but like, I mean, yeah, I don't really go by genre. I just pick stuff.
I can't watch anything that's fan servicey, and if you watch anime, you know what I mean by fan servicey.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
yeah.
I can't get behind that because half the time it's just like at this point I'm watching porn.
Yeah.
I don't want to watch porn.
Yeah, exactly. Like, look, I know what I'm watching. It's weird, but I don't want the henty.
Yeah.
No.
I don't want my booty women.
I'm really looking forward to the 40K animated stuff. I know it's been a year overdue, and I know that's not quite anime, but they've got a couple shorts that look like they're really edging that line.
They had the Tao. Wait, isn't there a Tao themed one that's coming out? That's anime. I refuse to hear otherwise.
I don't know if there's Tao. They've got Eldar.
Oh, I'm thinking of a fan-made project that someone's doing.
Yeah,
right.
There's Eldar. There's Kalidas Assassin, the Inquisitor. There's an Orc story, not to mention, and that's just the shorts. That's the Hammer and Bolter, the short show.
Mm-hmm.
Then we're not even talking about Angels of Darkness, which is actually going to be a serial with the Blood Angels and a Space Hulk, and that's going to be awesome.
Oh yeah,
but
cool.
Like for me, I don't know. Like, I mean, when I say genre, I mean like I'm more. I don't know. Like, I think you're right. Like, it depends on the mood. Like, I'm not a fan. I don't watch the slice of life animes. That's just not my accept. But I also don't watch slice of life TV shows. That's not what I enjoy. I want action to some degree. I'm not a fan of like cyberpunk stuff. Like Ghost in the Shell, not so much. But I
like space.
Good.
Yeah, but if it's mechy, I'm cool with it.
Oh, you can sell me anything mech related.
Yeah.
I'll be.
But if
dude, I can recommend mech ones for days that are pretty good.
Yeah,
and like actually aren't like
today. It's probably on that website that legally I do not recommend you go on.
And then at the same time, like for classic fantasy anime stuff for me is good too. Like Record of Lodoss War, Seven Deadly Sins. It's somewhat fan servicey, but that's really enjoyable. Like I have a buddy who likes that. I love the action sequences and the combat in that. And Dragon Ball Z is going to be always a good favorite.
Dragon Ball Z is always good. Look, Dragon Ball Z is something I think everybody that everybody likes, even if they don't like anime.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And
because it's like a Saturday morning cartoon.
There are no. Like, it's not perfect. There are flaws. There are so many tropes within that show. It's great.
But that's like nobody watches Dragon Ball Z because it's perfect. You watch it because those run-on episodes are too freaking long. And you're just like, yo, how many episodes is it going to take for someone to punch another dude?
Exactly. You've got to talk about it for 15 minutes about how you're going to get more powerful than the other guy. And then right when you get more power, it's like, but now I'm more powerful than you. No! Next time on Dragon Ball Z.
You want to see Goku do his training montage to then quadruple his power every time.
So many weekends were spent on
I mean,
DZ.
I guess as far as like mech ones, like, I mean, if we want to go a little bit newer, Gundam Iron Blooded Orphans was actually really good, but damn could it get dark. There was also like a little bit older, I guess, what was it called? Eureka 7? Yeah, I think that's what it was called.
Evangelion? I just said Evangelion.
Evangelion? No, I was not impressed with Evangelion. I'm going to be...
I converted... I got my buddy who went from I hate anime and it's a crime to he watched Evangelion, now he just watches things casually. So
I can't do it. Evangelion is one I just couldn't get into. I couldn't get into Firefly. There's some shows I just can't get into where I would think like I'm gonna like this. I just don't.
Dude, Firefly. Dude, anytime people cry about Firefly, I'm like, bro, I don't even know what that is, but you're not gonna get season 2.
No, at this point it's that. No, they got the movie. They should be lucky with that.
That's what annoys me with the anime industry is like a 1 season or 2 season, and it's just there to tease the manga. It drives me insane.
Yeah.
There's too many of those.
Dude, there's so many shows that won't be finished. Although there's a couple that won't be because like the creator had like a nervous breakdown and just like vanished.
Rip the homie.
Yeah, no, there's a couple that are like that.
Anime's an interesting thing.
It is. We could talk about this for hours. I mean, we probably will.
Probably.
Anime time.
Do you have anything? Do you have anything to plug, Kaz? We're going to talk about plugs.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, I guess the only thing that I really want to plug would be the Scranian Heresy. We need to get more people in there to be done with us.
Scranian Heresy is the Scrane Discord.
Yep.
Spin off on the main Discord that for Horus Heresy Legions. Pretty much the same, except it's a bunch of people acting dumb all day and chatting in voice chats.
Yeah,
there's a lot more. There's a lot more voice and stream chat there, and that's not. I mean, to be fair, I think the main core for the game. I think some people are more cautious what they stream or what they chat with. It's kind of a general mixing ground area, and I think that'd be tricky for the mods to do, but it's not like people have never done it before, but it's nice to just pop into any Discord. You've got people actively talking and chatting and just kind of be in a community. So yeah, it's goofy, it's quirky, and sometimes it's edgy.
Yeah.
When I say sometimes, I mean like every day.
Especially if Salty's online.
Oh man.
How about you, Axel? You got anything to plug?
I guess I'll do our good friend Doran a favor and plug his stuff. He's on Instagram at Drew Lee Clark, and everything will be Arbites, I believe they're pronounced. Did I get it right this time?
Yes, you did.
Yes, I got it. First time I've tried to shout that out, I didn't go, what is the police people from 40K called? Woo! Lovely guy. He did my artwork for my profile picture. It's beautiful. Yeah.
All right. I'm going to plug, besides deck slots, because you knew that was coming, I'm going to plug deck slots hard, especially if we are getting end of expansion or expansion at the end of this month. But Bar Night Legions, we've got the Bar Night Legions. By the time you hear this, Bar Night Legions for April 3rd will have commenced and have been completed the Wingman format, but you can stay tuned for a Bar Night Legions scheduled for the end of April. That's going to take place. I don't have the date just yet. It's going to be a Saturday or Sunday. But we're going to have ourselves another Bar Night Legions, which should be a fun tournament. It's a great time just to play casual, play B-tier, off-tier stuff. It's for the Johnnies in the players, not the Spikes. The prizing is...
Bring that to your card deck. We will bully you verbally.
That's right. You will get razzed. The prizing is for the Miodmeister title. That's it. There's no cash or gold or card backs.
May get it on work. We may not.
It's fun. Sometimes it happens. I will tell you this, Erlin still does not work. That was my experience the last time, so I'm not taking Erlin into this format. But we've got that going on, and at the start of the episode, I did talk about the deck list contest that's taking place for April. The theme is Fortified, so make sure you get your submissions to me for that as well. And that's really it. I'm going to continue. Like I said earlier, we're going to be talking about the World Cup and trying to cover that as best as we can. But I don't think I need to plug that. That's already underway at this point. So yeah. So just root your teammates on, your lodge mates, or your country, whoever's playing to represent you, and just show some community support. But that's all I've got to plug.
Bar Night Legion, one deck or two.
Shut up. Oh. All right, well that's about it. That's all I got. Thank you for making it out, Kaz. I know you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime. All right, guys. Well, that is it for us. Thank you all, and we'll talk to you later.
A magnificent ending.
This has been another episode of the Warp Chatter Podcast. Thank you for listening.
Yes.
Shh. It's over. Don't fight it.